Hello and welcome to the Monthly Marquee. I'm your host, Bart Lovins. Welcome. And as I welcome you, I also welcome our first guest today, Miss Sarah Vaughn with Elizabethtown. Sarah, how are you doing there with the State Theater?
Fantastic. Better than we've been in a long time, Bart. Thanks for having us on.
Well, I think sometimes when we have these monthly conversations, it's almost more a therapy session for all of us than it is sharing of information. But you have a wealth of things that are finally, it's like the lid is off Pandora's box, and we're finally able to make some things happen.
Exactly. We, when the announcement come out on June, or whenever that was, several days ago, about June the 11th, I know that it was one, I have a feeling it's one of those things that we're all going to go, I remember where I was when the announcement was made, like it was such a changing and turning point for us, and just the freedoms coming back, and for us, the feeling of we can finally plan. And I know you feel the same way as I do. It's still this, I've got one toe in the water, and I'm ready to jump in, but we haven't hit June the 11th yet. So fingers are still crossed. So we still want people to get vaccinated, and we're still fighting the good fight. But yeah, it feels so good to be able to announce some things. I had 3 press releases go out last week, all about things happening and not being canceled. It was invigorating, I used to go, oh, we gotta get that press release out. We gotta get that press release out, and I felt like I was press release happy. Last week, I was like, let's just announce everything right now, and it was just so exciting. So yeah, the energy around here in the State Theater has completely changed, as I know it has for a lot of places and a lot of folks. And so, yeah, so the first thing we did was, so we have Daryl Worley coming to Concert on Main, a new event that we started, which we created the event at the end of last year. We decided we were going to have this event this summer. And at the time we said, we're going to throw it on the square and we're going to have it free, and on and on and on. And then of course, restrictions were still in place by the time we needed to make this decision. And so we decided to ticket it. $15 tickets, very low, but that way we could actually control the crowd. Right. So when the announcement was made that June the 11th, the restrictions would be lifted, we said, you know what, we're going to refund those tickets because we can do that pretty easily. And we're going to open it up. It's completely free to come to that concert. Bring your chairs, come on in. We're going to have food vendors. We're going to have a couple of bars. We're going to have Water's Edge Winery. We're going to have beer. We're going to have some great pizza. Just come on down. Even if you're like, who's Daryl Worley? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like we have a free concert downtown. That's what I keep telling people. It really doesn't matter who's here. It could be me up there singing, and it doesn't matter. So come on. But he's a great country artist. He was huge in the 90s, and this town loves some 90s rock and country. So come on down. We've got a couple of openers. So the concert and the show is going to start at 4. So more details on when the gates open and all that good stuff, but be planning for that June 26th, free concert downtown, all ages welcome. It's just going to be a great night. And we kind of feel like it's this first event celebration of, we made it through, we're here, not forgetting all the trials and tribulations we went through, but at the same time celebrating that it's a new day. And so we're doing that with a free concert and some beer. So come on downtown. And then the following weekend, we will have our, let me back up, because the beginning of June, we're going to actually have, starting next week, is our T-Mobile movie series for the summer. So June and July, every Tuesday and Thursday at 1:00, we're going to have movies lined up. So for $1, and bring the kiddos down. Our whole lineup, I don't remember all of them. I'm not even going to pretend to say them. If you go to thestate270.org, it's right there. Click on the movies and the whole lineup is there. So for $1, come on in. We'll have our concession open. And I believe T-Mobile sponsoring kids packs as well. But it's just, it's something to do to get you out of the heat, get the kids out of the house. We have several local daycares and groups that bring, large groups of kids for field trips and things like that too. So we, are still under that mask mandate if you're not vaccinated. And as we talked about before we started recording, there'll be a lot of kids here, and obviously most of them have not been vaccinated yet. So, yes, please wear your mask if you're not vaccinated for the safety of the kids. And all of our staff will be, even the ones that are vaccinated. So, just make sure that you're still keeping that in the forefront of your mind. We don't want to make any situation worse. So, then we're going to hit our concert at the end of June. And then July the 4th, West Banco is our big sponsor. We're going to have a huge fireworks celebration. You could come and go with ease. There was still plenty of parking available. So thanks to Dr. Pate, ECTC, and all the folks over there, we utilize all their parking lots. We utilize the parking lots next to the EABC fields right there. Off University Drive. And then thanks to our folks with Hardin County Schools, the fireworks actually shoot off behind EC3. So we do allow some of the VIPs, a few, to park in the EC3 lot. That's what we found through COVID, probably more than anything, is that, which I've known this my whole life, I don't know why I haven't implemented in an event, is that simple is better, keeping things simple. And so I feel like with our July 4th Founders Day celebration, I felt like I had gotten it just a little too much happening, and people were loving it and they're coming and all of those things. But I know as a mom of little kids, when you show up to an event and you have free bounce houses and a free train and free ices and free face painting and free, it's like, and it's 95 degrees outside. And all you can think is, I really wish y'all hadn't done this, because I have to be here to see these fireworks. And I have to bring my kids to see the fireworks because July the 4th is what we do, and, and so, and not to say any, but it's just, we really did. We simplified it. Folks showed up, they brought their families. They had just as good a time as they did when they stood in an hour-long wait for the trackless train, or the wet slip and slide. So I'm not saying we're never going to bring it back again. We don't know. We're just focusing on year to year, but we decided. And of course, our huge partners at West Banco, again, took no time signing that check and said, we're on board, and they pay for the biggest portion of those fireworks. So, and then a few weeks later, a week later, I talked a little bit about our Princess and Me tea. So we have a few tickets left. It's a new event we decided to bring. So we inherited several costumes for the I'm not allowed to say Disney. They're princesses. No, they're princesses. They're beautiful princesses that we all recognize. And so we're gonna have a Princess and Me tea, so you can come literally have tea with your princesses. Your favorite one most likely is gonna be here. We have a craft. There's a glitter makeup station. We're going to have a dance off with the princesses. You can get your photo taken with the princesses. It's just all about Princess Day. And then right after, again, T-Mobile sponsored that. They're such a great partner to the State Theater. And right after that, we're going to show a movie. So if you want to stick around, we encourage all the little ones to wear their favorite princess costume. Any costume you want. And I've had some people go, well, can I bring my son? Of course you can. Bring them on. Does your son, love tea? Because my kids do. But yes, it's going to be a great day. Lots of beautiful princesses to go around. It's going to be such an exciting day. And then we're going to show a movie and all the good stuff. So you can get your tickets, thestate270.org. $30 a person is what that's going to cost. We're going to have plenty of food and all the good stuff happening there. Couple weeks after that, we've got Cruising the Heartland. We're bringing it back. We have changed the hours. It's actually 8 to 5 on Saturday, July the 31st. So Friday night is the car show portion and event cruising at the lake. And Saturday is cruising downtown. And so we close the streets kind of middle of the night before sunrise kind of thing. And then the cars can come in and park themselves. We typically see 2,000 to 3,000 cars. We don't know what we're going to see this year.
Sure. Yeah.
Marketing is normally I start marketing in November for the following year. That obviously hasn't happened. So we're going to do the best we can on the marketing side. We also don't really have the budget for it. So thanks to our friends, Jim's Express Car Wash, he immediately jumped. These businesses just blow me away. He immediately just jumped on board and said, yeah, I'm totally in. As the primary sponsor, wrote the check, and it's just great. We have so many other folks as well. So that's happening. Of course, that's free downtown. All the streets will shut down, all the good stuff. So what am I leaving out, Bart?
I'll check my list here. Do you have any entertainment during cruising in the Heartland, or is it just about cars?
We've got the Wolf Brothers coming, and
Okay.
they're gonna do a concert probably about starting around 2 o'clock. We'll get that final schedule out soon, but I think it's going to start 1 or 2 o'clock in the Parking Lot State Theater. Wolf Brothers come. They do all kinds of classic cover songs and hits, and we had them in 2019. They put on quite a good show, so
Well, and that's just the perfect music for that event.
it really is. Oh, I almost forgot too. Sports Park. Our movies in the park are coming back. The
Oh
free
my
movies.
gosh. Okay.
Those used to be a Freeman Lake Park, and they have now moved. We've partnered with the sports park. So the first one is going to be June 25th. We're going to show the Crudes 2. And then July the 9th is going to be the Sandlot. So yeah,
That's
perfect.
perfect. What a perfect venue for the Sandlot. That's wonderful.
It is. It is. So it's going to be a big outdoor movie. Bring your blankets. Sicilian Bank has sponsored that along with Grace Heartland Church. They're going to have plenty of free concessions actually there for you, or you can bring your picnic in as well. So lots of stuff. Check out our city events Facebook page. Check out etownevents.com. Check out the state270.org, or give us a phone call and I will share all of this and overwhelm you over the phone with as much information as you want for the next few months.
Well, and I did just check my list. We did forget one thing to bring up, and it may be important because you may need people to contact you if they want to participate. Tell us just a little bit about the Heartland Parade.
Thank you. Yes, Heartland Parade, August 28th. Those applications will be ready at etownevents.com starting June the 12th. By the time this airs, they're already open. Now, etownevents.com, click on the logo of the event you want to get more information about, and you can download that. So the theme this year is superheroes, which, gimme, right? Appropriate. We're hoping and we want to invite everyone that's an essential worker. We and however you perceive a superhero this year could be very different than Spider-Man or Batman or what have you. And we want those superheroes to be there as well.
It's this sounds silly, but I really truly mean it. I want to see a bag boy from Kroger with a cape on. The being able to pick up our groceries. I know it sounds like a very silly thing, but it's made a world of difference for us as Allison and I through this pandemic, to know that we didn't have to go through Kroger's, maneuvering the aisles and working around 6-foot distancing to be able to call that in. And Kroger's has offered that pickup for free. I mean, I know these are not doctors or nurses or firefighters or policemen, but boy, have we really needed their help through all of this.
Amazing. You're exactly right. And I'm with you. I want to see the doctors and the nurses and emergency staff. I want to see the grocery store workers. I want to see, the folks, heck, Lowe's,
Yeah,
I mean, Donald. Yes. I mean, we have, honestly, I think Kroger should probably have a whole float with just toilet paper on it, and just throw out rolls, like that's gold. And Lowe's should probably give out some lumber. I mean, it's amazing how things have just changed and changed. My husband's an electrician. He didn't have a day off,
No.
because
oh my gosh.
Yeah, construction, all of that had to keep going. And he was going, I was able to go home and stay home with the kids and, work from home and do all those things and keep doing my job, even though it was kind of pretty dead. But he had to keep going in, and he had, he would go in and be on a lift and doing his job. And the next day go, oh, the other guy that was on the lift got COVID, and he's going, can I touch anything? Can I, all of these unknowns. And he, on construction sites, there's porta potties. There's no hand sanitizer, and it's things like that of, the folks at Kroger, being and standing there and running the cash register, putting themselves at risk and going home to their families and stuff like that. The people that we've seen, and what they've done, and not ask for, not complain and show up every day and do it. Those are our superheroes. And so that
we all know a superhero. I think it's a great theme. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So we're hoping the community jumps on board with it as well. And individual businesses, I can't call every single business in town and say, hey, Culvers, you guys were doing this and you all should be a part of it. So we want everyone. We want you to recognize your employees and your staff and become a part of the parade. Show us your superheroes. We want to see that. So yeah, August 28th, I feel is going to be a little bit of an emotional day for some of us, especially those maybe that lost someone or that struggled with COVID or had any type of issue through COVID, which is quite a few of us. And so, yeah, I really feel it's our homecoming parade, but I feel like this year it's going to be so much more. So
homecoming in the broadest sense of the word. Yeah.
Oh, yes, most definitely.
Sarah, thank you so much. And again, I just want to remind folks, you're going to be getting a lot of information thrown at you through the newspapers, through Monthly Marquee, from all of our contributors over the summer. Please go out and check these organizations' websites. They're going to be sharing what they're doing. They're going to be sharing what they need from you. And sometimes that is participation. Sometimes it's just support. We're ready to rock and roll, all of us in the performing arts field, but we can't do it alone. And I'll talk about more of that in today's blog. Sarah, thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Thanks, Bart. Appreciate you.
You got to love it, yeah. So time, 'cause I'm moving on the groove. You got to love it, yeah. So time, 'cause I'm moving on the groove.
In May, I shared all of the exciting events we have planned for the upcoming season with the PAC's producing partners. Who are these producing partners, you may ask? Well, they are the financial institutions that recognize the value that quality performing arts brings to our community. They're the philanthropic organizations that understand that a high concentration of the arts in a municipality lead to higher civic engagement, more social cohesion, higher child welfare, and lower poverty rates. They're also the local restaurants, hotels, and other businesses frequented by the participants that perform on our stage and their families. They are the industries that benefit from the creativity, problem solving, critical thinking, and collaboration nurtured through the performing arts. They're educators who see firsthand how students engaged in the arts flourish socially and academically, and they are the individuals that perform on our stage, sit in our audiences, and volunteer in both ways, large and small. In short, if you're still watching this, they're people just like you. So why don't you become a PAC partner and be part of the show today? Now, maybe you think it'll be too expensive or too much trouble. Maybe you're just too busy. Maybe you don't know we need your help. Or maybe, just maybe, you've never been asked. We've got big plans and even greater goals, but we can't achieve them without you. This long drawn out intermission is nearly over. Help us reset the stage. Whether you give $1, $100, or $1,000, or just your time, you are part of the PAC. Contact me about becoming a PAC producing partner today at 270-769-8837 or at lovins@thepac.net, and help us raise the curtain on the next act at the PAC tomorrow. My next guest on the Monthly Marquee is Miss Carrie Lewis with Hardin County Playhouse. Carrie, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How about you?
We're getting there. We're getting there. Yeah. Now you guys have just finished your first production in, I think, a little over a year, maybe.
Yes.
You just got through with an evening of monologues for women called Talking With. Can you tell us a little bit how that went across now that you're back up on the boards?
Well, it went very well. It was very well received. Of course, it was a production that featured 11 monologues by 11 different women. And it seemed to reach out and touch pretty much everybody and every facet of discussion that they might have. Everybody seemed to enjoy it, and we had a really good turnout. So I was very pleased. It felt wonderful to be back on stage, and it felt wonderful to have a cast around, be in the dressing room with folks, even if we were wearing masks at the time. But it was just a great feeling to be back. So things are opening up now, and it looks like things are very promising for the fall. So, our hopes are high. So we'll
Well,
see.
and speaking of that, you're going to build off the success of talking with and getting people at least starting to get back into the habit of returning to see things at Hardin County Playhouse. What's next up for you guys?
Well, next up, we have got an original work by Katie Van Zyl. It's called The Sisters Grimm. That's the working title thus far. It's going to be performed in August, from August 6th to the 8th and the 12th to the 15th. And we're going to have auditions June 7th and 8th. And it's going to be for children. We're going to have a cast of children in that one. So it should be kind of interesting. It's going to be a compilation of tales from the Brothers Grimm, but it's going to be a little different. She's going to put her own spin on it. So
is this going to be kind of a fractured fairy tale kind of approach?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, she's working on it. So I don't really know. I can't wait to see it. I'm sure it's going to be fabulous. And it's going to be wonderful to get some young people back involved in theater as well. So.
Well, I was going to say, just to be clear, you were saying this is a show for children to come see, but it is also a show for children to come and audition for.
Yeah.
What are your age limits? What are you looking for? How should families prepare?
Okay. Well, we are going to be posting stuff on our Facebook page as that becomes available, because Katie actually is, she's at school in Bowling Green. So, our time with her is somewhat limited with board meetings and everything. But as we get that information, we'll make that very much available and publish that in the paper, so forth, so people know what to expect and what to try and work with. And there'll be some audition materials available as well.
And then after the Sisters Grimm, you guys are returning to some tried and true events that you haven't. Well, I was about to say you haven't done in a while, but you actually did get the Ghost Walk in the midst of everything going on, and that's the next thing you have planned after the Sisters Grimm.
Well, actually, probably the next thing we're gonna do a bunch of Halloween stuff, right? Around October. So we've got October 15th through the 17th and the 21st to the 24th. The Revenge of an HCP Halloween, which will be our fundraiser. It's going to be an original work by Ron Blair and Jake Richardson. We did a telethon type series with this same theme several years ago, and everybody seemed to love it. So we're going to continue with that. And then we're going to have the Ghost Walk on October 29th and 30th. And that's when we, people come dress up or whatever. And we have people in costume at various places, and we tell historic and spooky stories for their entertainment.
Right now, people can be going downtown on Thursdays, I think, starting in July or August for the walking tour. Do you have any idea about that?
Actually, yeah, I'm Sarah Bush Johnston Lincoln in the walking tour. That starts next Thursday on June 3rd. And Tavern in the Garden will be back, and the walking tour will be back. So looking forward to that as well. And that runs through September 2nd.
And if folks have done the historic walking tour, and they really appreciated and enjoyed that, the Ghost Walk is like the next cousin to that.
Yeah.
It's really a lot of fun.
The spooky cousin. They'll like the same thing, because we managed to talk about some historical facts that are there in downtown E-Town, but we throw in the spook factor as well. So we try to make it entertaining.
And then coming up after that, you're taking a little bit of a break for the holidays. Let everybody spend time with their families. And then you're coming back strong with the Diary of Anne Frank in March, you were saying.
Yes. We'll have auditions in January, on January 10th and 11th for that one. But that's going to be performed March 11th through the 13th and the 17th through the 20th. And then we're going to finish our season out in June with Heathers the Musical. That's going to be from June 10th through the 12th. The 16th through the 19th, and we'll have auditions in April for that. So we will be posting on our website and our Facebook page to let people know, and it'll be in the paper as well. So just to let everybody know, come out and audition. I mean, it's a lot of fun.
Well, and we were talking beforehand. I know Heathers and to some degree Diary of Anne Frank as well. These are plays that you've been kind of in limbo or in production with for almost 2 years now.
Yeah. Well, we had this on our season for last year. And of course, when COVID hit, everything we just had to wait and roll it over to the next year. And we weren't even sure. I mean, as a lot of folks, as a lot of folks were, we weren't even sure when we'd be able to resume. And it's been a challenge, like for most small entities, including restaurants and everything. It's very difficult to have a limited capacity and be able to meet your overhead. So you don't want to put on a production that you're going to pay more for than what you can possibly receive with limited capacity. So we just decided to wait, and it's looking very promising for this next year. So many things opening up. Musicians are going back on tour, and I think it'll be knock on wood somewhere. I think it'll be good. So we're just very hopeful for the next year.
Well, and I was talking with Sarah Vaughn at the top of the program, and we touched upon these very things. First and foremost, getting back up and running again as a small business, which we all are to some degree, small businesses. We're facing those same obstacles that I know people are familiar with from their favorite restaurants and so forth. And how can people help you continue with Hardin County Playhouse? There's much more than just buying a ticket that people can do to help contribute.
And buying a ticket certainly helps. But yes, if you want to donate, we are a 501c3 nonprofit, so your donations are tax deductible. You can mail us your check, or you can call me or whatever. We have all our information listed on the Facebook page and on our website, which is hardincountyplayhouse.com. So if you're so inclined that you would want to give something, anything, because even little amounts add up, it makes a difference. And one thing that helped us last year is we had several people who are faithful givers that were able to send things in. So we really, really appreciate that. So
if you've missed this, if you've missed having these things to go to, know that they don't just happen. They take a lot of effort, and they take a lot of energy, and they take some finance. And it's a great way to, at a time when we have been separated and isolated by this pandemic, going to share stories together, going to see things together is a way to bring our community together again.
Exactly. Yeah. And it helps us get in touch with our own humanity, because everything this past year has been so contactless. Contactless delivery. Some people have not really gathered with family or friends for a very long time, and we need to do that. It's helpful and healthy for us to do that. So I know it felt like a vitamin infusion to be back on stage again and see the audience out there and people responding. It was very good. So I'm hoping that everybody realize what this means. We've taken it for granted that it's always been there. I hope people realize the importance of it as we return to normal, finding our own new definition of normal.
Exactly. Hey, Carrie, thank you so much. Look forward to talking to you in July when we've got more information about the Sisters Grimm. You've had auditions, and we'll be talking about the production itself, and looking forward to all the things you have planned for the rest of the Hardin County Playhouse's new season in a new normal.
Yes. Thank you so much, Bart.
Well, folks, that's it. It's going to wrap up another edition of the Monthly Marquee. For everyone who's been here with us today, I'm your host, Bart Lovins, Director for the Hardin County Schools Performing Arts Center, and we look forward to seeing you back at the pack very, very soon.